Tony Quant for World TV. Absolutely delighted to be joined by the Bellator middleweight champion, Gegard Mousasi. Gegard, welcome back to London. How are you finding things?
Yeah, great. I've been in London before. I won the belt here. I had always wins here. Good memories. Beautiful city. So always good to be back, and then hopefully another win, making better memories.
Absolutely, and obviously you're defending your title against an undefeated fighter on Saturday. Does the fact that he's undefeated play any part into your preparation or how you approach the fight, or is for you it's just another fight, get in there, get the job done, get home?
Well, obviously he has a lot of BJJ competition, so those nine fights doesn't say the whole story. Obviously he has felt defeat in BJJ, maybe not in MMA, but the only thing different is when he's 9-0, you haven't seen him in difficult places. You haven't seen him how his chin held up. You know, some questions are not answered yet. So, but other than that, it's just it doesn't mean a lot. Records nowadays.
And we obviously haven't seen him, bounce back from a loss either. Yeah. So there's probably a lot to that as well. So going into this fight against someone who's notorious for his jiu-jitsu, are you almost at the stage where you're thinking, I want to outbeat him at his own game? Is that an element to your game, or
No. He's that's his world. He's done it when he was a kid. If I go do grappling with him, eventually he will get me some kind of stupid submission. So no, I'm here. I'm a professional. I need to win the fight. I'm not here to play in his game. Stand-up is more my thing. Of course, if I get him on the ground, if I have top position, that would be a favorite for me. But we don't want to go on the ground on my back, let's say. If it goes to the ground, we can handle ourselves.
And obviously, as Bellator middleweight champion, as someone who's fought in the UFC previously, what do you make of the growth of Bellator and its investment in Europe? Obviously, we've just announced some more dates coming up, and probably a few years ago it may have been sort of overlooked a bit, but clearly, there's a much bigger presence of Bellator in Europe. So, as a fighter coming from the UFC, have you seen that growth, and does that excite you as a fighter and obviously as a champion in this organisation?
Yeah, definitely. I saw the last show on Spike in Holland. Great show, all great fights, great finishes. It's good to see Bellator grow, especially in Europe, where there's a lot of talent. And I'm a Bellator fighter, so I enjoy watching Bellator grow, and I want to grow with them. So it makes me happy. Yeah.
And we talked earlier. Well, you talked earlier at the press conference in regards to either going up or going down to chase another title potentially. Is that your sort of next steps if you come through Saturday night with a victory, or are you more interested in staying at middleweight and fighting the next challenger? And who do you think that challenger is?
Listen, I'm a prize fighter. I fight for money. Belt don't mean a lot. Let's say if I had tens of millions of dollars, and then maybe legacy fights, but some people get burned out after 20 fights. I'm here 50 fights, I'm still fighting. Why? Because I need to get paid. They don't pay me enough, so I have to continue fighting. So it's just, of course, I like to have belts. It's not all about money. People are going to think he's a dick. But they should pay,
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whatever.
So, have you got kind of a date in mind, or a potential for when you're going to look to move out of the sport? Like you said, you're probably performing at the best of your career at present. Do you have an end date in mind? You've been doing this for such a long time, or as you are, you're still relatively young in the sport, and you're still competing at the highest level. Is that even a fault at this stage, or how long do you foresee yourself in this sport?
Well, I have 3 more fights. I always said if I don't have any injuries, if I stay healthy, and then I have good results, I will look at what to do afterwards. But the problem is they're gonna pay me more probably, and then that's the problem. At the end of your career, you make the most money, so it's more difficult to quit.
So you talk obviously about money and being paid more. How much? And you've probably seen the sport change quite a lot from when you first started in the sport. How much is the entertainment side of it play a part, do you think? And do you feel like you perhaps, if you was to, push more social media, do kinds of stuff at, press conferences, etc. Do you feel that would get you to a stage where they'd be in a position to pay you more?
Yeah, the problem. Yeah, definitely. But I cannot act. I'm not an actor. I cannot put on a show, sell a fight. When there's not really not my character. So I cannot go there and pretend I'm fighting and let people break me up. All that stuff, I see that all the time. But yeah, I don't have that side of it, so I have to do the harder work. It takes longer.
Yeah, because ultimately, if you had been at press conferences throwing bottles at people and that kind of stuff, there's arguments to say you might have been pushed, quicker. But
Yeah.
you've done your work inside the cage. That's what you're paid to do. Equally, you've probably seen some people, the Chow Sonnens of this world that get probably a bit of a push because of the antics outside of the cage.
Oh, that's good. That's a part of the entertainment is good. If everyone was like me, it would be very boring. It's just not me. That's what I'm saying. And I enjoy McGregor. I enjoy this press conference when they're talking smack to each other. I enjoy it also. So I'm not complaining, but I cannot do it because I can't do it. I don't know.
That's absolutely fine. And obviously, looking at Saturday night, you know, best of them well, you win. How do you actually foresee the fight turning out? How do you envisage yourself winning the fight? Is it going to be a knockout submission?
To be honest, I always thought I would finish him, but you never know with a fight. But I hope to finish him in 2 rounds. I think if I tap him a couple times with punches, and he will do mistakes. He will get more desperate, and he will shoot maybe. I get a ground and pound, maybe on top position. So it depends how he fights, of course. But me seeing myself as being the better striker and not letting him take me down, I hope to finish him 2 rounds. That's what I think I should be able to do.